Hey everybody, this is Pocket of Rocks here, or also known as JWags on the Ninth Age website forum, coming at you from Columbia, South Carolina. And this is a brand new series that I'll be bringing to you called Confessions of a Bad Ninth Age Fantasy Wargamer, because that's me, and maybe you'll see why in a few slides here. But I'm going to be playing my Empire Sonnstahl versus my good buddy from my club, Brandon, and his Daemons Legions. And let's see what I have for you. So, why am I doing this video? I might be wondering that myself. Basically because I want to confess to everybody, hey, I'm not a great 9th Age Wargame fantasy general. I've played in many tournaments in 9th Age since it came out. I played Warhammer 8th Edition, and I love going to tournaments whenever I can, but the truth is I continue to be kind of a mediocre tournament player, and I've gotten better, but I'm by far nowhere near the top tier players. I'd hope to do better than I have, but for the most part I just want to have fun, and maybe I can get some advice from some fellow YouTube viewers on some tactics or techniques that I can use with my Empire Sonnstahl army to do better going forward. And most importantly, I want to help promote the 9th Age Fantasy Battles wargame system. It's great, having tons of fun with our club mates and bringing some new people in the hobby. We'd like to bring some of the old people back, from maybe bring some people in from other games, and just show everybody how fun it can be to play this game, how you can meet all kinds of new people, and just really just have a great time, which is what it's really about. So yeah, I want to win. I enjoy winning. I like narrative, but most importantly, I'm just about having a good time playing this game, and at the same time, I'm going to try to win. So this is going to be a 6,000 points Brawler Bash Carnage Rules style game, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on what the Carnage Rules is. Empire Sonnstahl, I've got my humans going up against some gnarly Daemons Legions on the right there, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, so let's get into the army list. Of course, I'm playing Empire of Sonnstahl, and I've got 3 Knight Commanders in this list. I've got them kitted up with the various weapons, a Beastbane Halberd, I've got Jack's Pickaxe, I got the Sonnstahl, I got a Marshal with a Hero Sword. He's also going to be on a horse. All these guys are 1-up armor save. They all either have a 4-up or a 5-up ward save with some extra protection, designed to really be able to put out some damage, but also to take a lot of damage. I've got a Prelate on horse, just a great weapon. He's going to be in the back in one of the Knightly Order blocks, really just providing his buffs, kind of being protected by the other guys. I got 2 Prelates on foot. One's got the Blessed Armor of Frederick the Great that gives him a 1-up armor save, and the other guy's got the Wizard Hood, so he's doing double duty. He's a Prelate and a Wizard. I think that's an economical way to get magic into the army, and also to give him some protection so that he can survive the first couple rounds of battle, get his hatred in there on the flagellants. And then I got another Prelate with Myrtle Mel, so he'll be 2-up armor save, and that one's definitely going to go into the flagellants. But the guy that's got the Wizard Hood, he may or may not go into a block of flagellants, depending on what magic he gets. If he gets a lot of good ranged magic, then he might go probably in with the crossbowmen down there in the bottom. So let's get in the units. I got Knightly Orders. These are the guys that are bodyguard knights, so they're gonna be stubborn as long as one of the knight commanders with them, and they'll always have at least 1 knight commander in that unit, probably the general, maybe another one depending on the situation at deployment. War standard. 2 units of 24 flagellants, and you know, those guys are just unbreakable. They're frenzy. They're going to go out and just try to destroy things, which is perfect for this Brawler Bash type scenario. Then I've got the Electoral Cavalry with some Cavalry Hammers and a Gleaming Icon. 2 units of 6 Cavalry. Those guys are scoring units as well. They're going to be trying to get into flanks or protecting the outside edges of the board are going to score. I got some militia with pistol skirmishers. That's a chaff unit. I got light infantry with crossbows. They're going to be shooting and trying to wear down some of the larger blocks of the enemy and take out the enemy's chaff. Then I got 2 units of readers armed with a brace of pistols, 6 each, and their job is to go out and screen my forces, get in the way, chaff them up, use their pistols to get around behind and shoot up the enemy. And then I got 1 volley gun. So I've been playing a series of different lists, getting ready for Brawler Bash over the last few weeks, and I started off with the infantry heavy list. Really wasn't working out for me. A more traditional list with halberd blocks and some great swords, and I had the prelate on the altar of battle, and he was buffing everybody and so forth. But it really wasn't working out too good for me because I was good at holding ground, but I couldn't really capture ground. I couldn't really get out there and kill stuff. And Brawler Bash is really all about killing things. List I played before this had 2 volley guns in it. I'm giving up a volley gun and getting an extra unit of readers and a couple other things, but I'm just going to see how that works out for me. And this is Brandon's list with the Daemons Legions, and he's got he's got a lot less people than I got, or monsters, or whatever his demons are called on the field. He's gonna bring at me 3 harbingers of pestilence. Actually, correction, it's 4. One is they're gonna be the general, and he's gonna have a soul-bound staff, and he's gonna be on a palanquin in the block of his 29 tallymen down there in the units. Then he's going to have 3 harbingers on. They're going to be mounted on blight flies, and they're going to be down in that unit in the bottom. It's 750 point full command unit of 5 blight flies. So this is a big, huge unit of blight flies. I don't know. We were calling it kind of the fly star. So I don't know how I'm going to defeat that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I can. So I'm going to try to stay away from it. And then he's got down at the bottom, he's got 29 tallymen. That's where his general is going to be. He's got a smaller block of tallymen. He's got some furies that are going to be flying around, probably trying to chaff me up. He's got these blight flies that I know that's his main killing block, and I don't know what to do against that again. He's got plaguelings. There's some more chaff. These little guys running around, and then he's got 2 units of pestilence beast, 5 each in each unit, and that's another 720 points. So he's got a lot of points in a few units, but each of these guys, these units are all tough. They all got at least a 5 up. I think it's regen, and some of them got wards. They've got other kinds of buffs on them, and I just know it's going to be a real challenge. So this is a good battle because I haven't fought any Daemons Legion list in a long time, and I certainly haven't tried it with this cavalry-based Empire army to see how it's going to go. So I'm really looking forward to this battle. So I've been talking a lot about this as being a Brawler Bash test game, and so if you're interested in it, Brawler Bash is March 25th, 26th. It's going to be at Atomic Empire, which is in Durham, North Carolina. I have absolutely one of the best wargaming environments out there. It's a huge store. They sell comic books and other stuff too, but they got all kinds of different war games and different board games in there, and dice and modeling stuff. And the first time I went to this the store was for a Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition game called Grail Quest. It was the first tournament that I ever went to. They had, I think, almost 100 people signed up, and I'm walking in there. I don't know anything. I'm the new guy. I don't have a battle board. I just have Orcs and Goblins army that I don't even know how bad it was. I don't know anything. But everybody was great and so nice to me that it's really where I kind of fell in love with going to these gaming conventions and just playing a bunch of people. So if you're in the North Carolina area, you need to check it out. If you're within a 3 or 4 state radius of this store, you need to come to a tournament here. They always have great events. Alright, so we've been talking a lot about the Brawler Bash special rules. And so this is based on the Carnage system. So basically, every victory point you get 1 point. So if you kill 2,000 points of the enemy's forces, you're going to get 2,000 victory points, and so forth. If he kills 2,000 of yours, he gets 2,000. There's also going to be a bunch of scenario points that you can get. You can earn up to 1,000 extra points for that. You get 200 points for killing a general. You get points for remaining unbroken, so we're going to have scoring units. It's going to be important to keep them alive. You get extra points for having table quarters with scoring units, and yeah, extra points for being in your deployment zone of your enemy and keeping the enemy out of your deployment zone. So this is very aggressive. It's designed to be aggressive, bringing people together, troops together, just fighting. There's really no benefit in not fighting. Even if you think you're going to lose, you might just want to go fight anyhow, because if you kill him and you get some extra points. So there's also going to be a whole bunch of special scenario cards. We're not going to go into them, but they're usually pretty fun things, like where you can take a card and it'll automatically give you a 7 for a leadership test, that you can only use that once in the tournament. There's a couple other ones where you just say, I'm going to go after your general, and if I get your general, I get some extra victory points for that. So all kinds of stuff going on. It's one of the things that really I've struggled with in this tournament in the past, is because we don't usually practice all the special rules. We should, but we don't. And then we get to the tournament and I'm like, oh man, how am I going to do this? Or I'm playing the game and I think I'm winning, I'm doing good, and in reality I'm not really doing that great, because I'm not getting any of these extra victory points. So that's something I got to pay attention going forward. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get in the game. Enough talk. Let's get into the deployment. Alright, so this is the battlefield. Aerial view of it. We've got some building with a hill in the middle here. We got a beast stone here, some passable terrain. We got a chapel here building. We got a hill. We got a pond, some water. We got a forest, and we got 2 hills here and here. And Brandon decided that he wanted to take this, we'll call it the south side of the field, and I got the north side of the field. Brandon decided that he was going to deploy first, and let me go second. You know, honestly, I was okay with that. So Brandon deploys his entire army. He's got some beast over here. He's got his gargoyles over here. Got his general. This is his general. So he's still working on this army. He was planning to go to Brawler Bash, but some family obligations come up. He can't go. Very disappointed about it. He was putting this army together, but it's looking amazing. He's using an ink technique that our other clubmate, Miguel, he's on the forum. He does a whole channel called Rush the Wash, where he's showing people how to do armies quickly using inks. Brandon's using that system here, and you can tell it's turning out good. So he's got some gargoyles here, and he's got some. These are actually, these aren't deployed. These guys down here, he's using those to be scouts. And I'm looking at his army from, I said it was the north side of the table, so I'm looking south. He's got his bite flies over here with all his heroes, and I'm terrified of that. Out of the battlefield over here, so that's what it's looking like. It's going to be turn 1, Demon Legions. Alright, so it's his first turn. During his turn, he moved these guys up. They scout it, and then they vanguard it up to get right in front of my readers, which had vanguarded prior and before the game started. He's got over here this Fly Star unit that is just there killing. And actually, he kind of admitted that he made a mistake when he deployed him, because he started him out behind this pond, and he had to move around because he wasn't going to be able to avoid the dangerous terrain. The unit part of it would land in there, and so he made a mistake on that. I was going to let him move him to some other location, but he's like, "No, we're playing like a tournament game, so let's just do it." So I respect that. I was like, okay. And then he's got some beast over here. On this side of the table, he got his Furies that he moved up behind this building. I can't see them. I got a volley gun down here. He made it so I can't shoot them. when it gets to be my turn. He's got his general here. He's got some more beast. These worm guys he's working on. They look awesome. He's using the ink technique. We've got a clubmate, Miguel, who's showing everyone how to paint rapidly and quickly and get awesome results using just inks, and is working really good on this army. And he's got some more Furies and his Tallyman. So not too much happened in his turn. It was mostly just moving. He doesn't have any shooting. He did some magic, but it wasn't anything that important because not much has happened yet. We're just positioning ourselves. So we go right into to my turn. So here I'm definitely concerned with this Fly Star unit. It's got all its heroes. This is going to be a tough unit to deal with. I've got to keep them away from me. So I moved up these guys, moved them around, got him up in front with the readers, making sure that I'm out of his line of sight. This is something I'm not always very good at doing, but I'm trying to be mindful of that so that these guys can't charge me. If he charges these guys, they're not going to win. I'm going to flee, but it's going to slow them down. So that's what's going on there. So if the beast guys here, if these guys charge in to the Blue Knights, then they'll probably run away, flee through the building here, hopefully not go off the table. But he can't do that, or well, he can, but if he does, he knows that he's going to be threatened by the Black Knights and the guy with the Sonnstahl blade down here into his flank. He's not really worried about being flanked because the beast, they don't have they have something that gives them special rules, slime trail or something, prevents them from getting combat resolution from being flanked. They're T4, I think they're T5. They got regen 5s. They're not going to just run away. It's going to take a grind for me to get through them, but he's not going to want that to be the case with me and his flank on the initial turn. So I think that's going to prevent him from doing that there. But we'll see what happens. He's definitely going to have to. He's going to respond to my movement, and that's what the game's all about. At the bottom of the table, or the bottom of the screen here, you can see that I got a series of my white knights. We did do some shooting here. I did a few wounds on him. It looks like the volley gun did 2 wounds. I killed one beast, or did 2 wounds to one of the beasts. I got pistols, did some more. Pistols did a little work, did 2 wounds. Putting some wounds on these guys. I had the crossbows, shoot them, so I was concentrating my fire on them, just kind of trying to pepper them a little bit. We didn't really talk about the magic, but the lore magic that I rolled up for this game was alchemy. And at first I was like, I don't really know what that's going to do for me. But one of the traits of alchemy is that it has alchemical fire, and so that gives you flaming, or makes a target flammable. He has regens that can counter that, so we'll see how that works out for me the rest of the game. He's got evocation, and he had another type of magic, which we'll get into when he gets to his turn. So back to turn 2, Daemon Legions. Let me go back. Actually, he charges with he redirects into the Blue Knights. They have to flee. They flee through the Black Knights here. As you can see, they end up down here at the bottom of the corner of the screen. Sorry for the bad picture. Then that opens up a charge from the beast up here at the top right corner of the screen, which makes the readers flee again. They flee through the house. They have to do dangerous terrain tests. I think it's on a 1, 2, 3 they die, but luckily they pass all that. But here we go. We measure this. These guys don't flee quite far enough, and they're still in the legal charge range of these plaguelings. So wisely, Brandon says, I'm going to charge the plaguelings. He knows he wouldn't make it, but he doesn't have to, because they're charged and they're already fleeing. They have to flee again, and they flee off the board, sadly. But I'm not all that disappointed about it. They did do their primary job. I wish they could have stuck around a little bit longer, which was slowing down that deadly fly unit. And so this is kind of what it looks like after that. On the right side of the board, from my side, he moves in. He charges in. I think into the militia unit here in the middle. Pointer's not working, and brings these Furies down in front of the White Knights. I got them circled here. The militia, I got them labeled worm food. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to get eaten up. So I didn't flee them because he had another unit. I think maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was this main block battalion that also could charge, and I knew I had to hold with them. And if I would have fled, then it would have opened them up. So I had to hold. I stood and shoot. I think I maybe did a wound or something. But also, he brings in his Furies to block up my Knightly Order Knights down here. So wisely, he brings them in, and now I can't countercharge with them. I'm going to have to get through this unit of Furies. And this is what this looks like. Got militia being attacked by these worms. They're like, worms! And they get eaten. They all die. And he overruns right into the unit of Flagellants. I'm okay with that. This is actually a pretty good matchup for me if I'm going to be fighting this kind of unit. They're T5. They got Regen 5. They're monsters. They got multiple attacks. I think they're -1 to hit too. He's got different evocation spells that he's casting and putting on these guys to make it harder to hit. So this is going to be a grind. But that's what Flagellant units are really good at doing. So then we go into turn 2 for Empire Sonnstahl. So this is what it looks like. We're fighting over here from the last turn. I moved up my readers to get in the way of his block. So I'm trying to chaff up his general's block there. I don't want him to get down in there supporting his worm beast here. And I got to do something about these Furies. And I can't forget about the tallymen that are up here in the trees, kind of hiding. So I declare a bunch of charges, and I do some chaffing. So one of the things that I do that I think really surprised him, and I kind of took it out of the playbook of Old Ones Bitten, the famous YouTuber. I charge out my Knight Commander from my Black Knight unit into his beast on the left side of the table, just to take them on and to hold them up. I don't think he'll win that battle, but I believe he'll be able to hold them up, and that leaves my Black Knights in position so that they can be a counter to that fly unit that's coming on the left side of the board. I charge the White Knights. They don't have much choice into the Furies. He can't run away, so he has to take it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win that battle. I charge the Furies at the bottom with the Knightly Order Knights and my General's unit because they're in the way. Nothing else I can do. I need to clear them out. But I bring this other reader unit up just to chaff them because I need to get in the way so that I can resolve these battles with a Fury and then be able to reposition myself to threaten that General's block. But I really don't want to go into them early on, and I really need to be able to make it so that I have a favorable positioning before I get into them. Over here on the left side of the table, you see a little bit better view. This shows you the positioning of his units and the Knight Commander guy that charged over into that unit. There's a little close up there. So what happens in the combat phase? We cast some magic. I'm not sure exactly what we did. Let's see. He was 5-1. And I really didn't get anything significant off. I channeled, it was like 5-1. I channeled 1, so it was 7-5, and I wasn't able to do any magic. He pretty much stopped everything. We kill the Furies here. We do a post-combat reform so that we can then face the tallymen. And I was able to do that because I was able to block the beast up on the top of the corner of the screen with that lone hero. And going to turn 3, Daemons Legions. Alright, so this is what this looks like. So in his turn, he declares some charges. He tries to charge this fly unit down into the Black Knights, but fortunately for me, they failed to make that charge. It's a little bit of a long charge. Blue Knights, they were able to rally on my turn. It's shown there. And over here, we're still fighting with the beast of, I don't know what they're called. What are these things officially called? Pestilent Beast. So the Pestilent Beasts, the worm-looking dudes, are still fighting the flagellates. So in the magic phase, I got notes that it was 6-5. He had really good magic. He got off scouring on the worms and the flies. He got ancestral, I think it's leadership on the flies. He got guiding light on the worms and some other magic. So I only get one wound on the worms, but he did 7 wounds to me, and I made some saves. So he's doing a lot of damage over there with the worms. I was able to clear out the Furies in that battle, and to reform, it looks like this. He moved his tallymen up to threaten the flagellants and the cavalry. We got Gandalf up here. He's not involved in this battle. He's just hanging out in this tower, watching what's going on and evaluating the situation. We fight over here. I think I do maybe a couple wounds. Not much really happens here. I think it's virtually a push, and we just continue to fight with the Knight Commander and these Beasts of Pestilence there. I do kill a few, as you can see. Actually, I killed 2, but he he doesn't break because he just crumbles or has demonic instability, and so we stick there and we're like that. I try to reform, do a combat reform, and reposition myself further over to the left to give myself some room to charge in my turn, and we'll see how that works out. This is after the battle with the worms here. You can see he tore through a whole bunch of my flagellants there. So that brings us into the bottom of turn 3. Right over here, I'm going to declare a charge with my Black Knights going into these guys here. I'm going to declare a charge here, trying to get over into his Beast of Pestilence. Over here on this side, I'm able to kill all but one of these guys. So as much as I needed to kill them all so I could then overrun, maybe get out of the line of sight of these blight flies, that did not pan out for me. Another look at what's going on here from Brandon's side of the table. Wrong way. All right, turn 4. And okay, so it's now Daemons Legions turn 4. And he charges in here in his turn right into the Raiders. I gotta take it. I gotta slow them down a little bit. They're gonna die, but they're just gonna be there so that I can hopefully reposition myself to counterattack in the next turn. His flies, they get into the Black Knights here. He positions it so that he's not touching my Knight Commander, and he's gonna fight the Black Knights. Looks like that. They die. And now he's out of combat with my guys, and that's going to give him a chance to charge it again the next turn. And I'm unable to kill in the battle. I'm not able to kill that guy. That last beast is just there holding up. We continue to fight over here. He still has 1 beast left. He kills the Readers. And now it is turn 4. So I am able to charge in with my knightly orders into his general's unit with the tallyman. I think this is going to go all right. I know I'm not going to defeat him in this turn, and it's going to turn into a grind. I'm hoping that I'll be able to hold out long enough in order to get my flagellate unit, which is up at the top of the table here, into him and the next turn. But I'm going to have to hold out here until I can make it. The funny thing is, on this turn, I rolled. This is showing shooting. I rolled a perfect roll, 3 5s. That gives me 30 shots. Multiply that times 2. 30 shots. It's the perfect volley gun roll. And I shoot him at his flight unit. But that unit is, I think it's distracting, long distance. He had some other buff on it. And I am able to, with all those shots, I'm only able to wound one of them. I rolled a good number of wounds. But I'm only able to wound and kill one of the flies. And but that's better than nothing. That shows you that. Oh, he did put 1 wound on my BSB here. That's what that's representing. And we go to turn 5, Demon Legions. So his fly unit, they move in to finish off the poor little Black Knight unit, and I think I make a mistake here. I try to challenge him with my character, which you can't really see, and I should have just focused all his attacks on this one beast that was left, because what ends up happening is I don't kill the beast, my unit dies, my character ends up dying, and that beast gets away, and I don't get but maybe half points for that unit, where I would have got all the points. So lesson learned, I should have just killed that unit, tried to kill that guy, got rid of him, because I've got the higher initiative. I'm going to go first, and then just took the pain from the flies, and I would have got more out of it. So you can kind of see how it looks from his angle. I'll go back here. These White Knight guys, I think they overran. I'm not really sure what happened there. And that brings us into turn 5. I haven't really been talking about the magic much. He's been casting. I never really got any effective magic off this game. In his turn, he was able to get a lot of dice. He got all kinds of -1 to hit types of spells, just things that made it harder to kill him very effectively. And I just didn't take good enough notes on it, honestly. So over here, I charge in with the flagellant unit, and I am able to kill his unit that was here with his general. And that really is kind of the turning point of the game. I've got his general, I've got his main block of tallymen down. I killed his tallymen, and I've got on the other side of the table that fly unit, but it's turn 5, and I don't think they're going to be able to get over to here to get to my general. And I've got 1 flagellant, and the prelate wizard, you can't see him, he moved down here. He moved apart. They're over there just in the way. So it's getting late, so we started trying to speed things up here because we could see how things were going to go. It's top of turn 6, Demon Legions, and he charges in. He kills my volley gun. I really couldn't do anything. I let him have it. I was able to position my blue knights so that he couldn't charge them. So I was able to get them away, and they survived to be a scoring unit to help maintain control of that table quarter. Over here, there's nothing that really can be done. He can't get to me. And then it goes into bottom of Empire of Sonnstahl, turn 6. Again, over here, I moved these blue knights up. I would have moved them into this area to get this table corner, but it's contested with this lone beast. Like I said, I let him get away, and it kind of came back to haunt me there. That's something I need to work on. He ends up managing to retain this unit here almost at full strength, and he claims this table corner and along with me, so it's contested. So the final scoring looks something like this. We kind of got a little slop at the end counting up the points, but I had 3,447 victory points, which I think include the points for killing the general. He had 2,025 of my victory points. I think the table is mostly contested. I had one area. He had of one of the quadrants. He had one. He had troops into my deployment area. He would have got some points from that. He didn't have any in his, so he would have got maybe a few extra points for that. But this is about right. The main takeaway is I was able to do pretty well against the army with my list. I really liked it. I was able to keep his big fly unit away from me. We used him in maneuvering. I don't know how I would have fought that. I think if I were him, I would have deployed them in the middle of the table, and that would have been a big problem for me to deal with. As far as Brawler Bash game goes, it's an okay Brawler Bash game. It's not a whole bunch of points, but I would like to at least try to win as many games as I can. So I'm happy with the result. It was a great game. It's a great opponent. Brandon's always fun to play, and I hope to do it again. So please leave me some comments on this video. I'm going to try to do a better job getting more information on the magic phases and so forth going forward in future videos. This is my first one, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.